Good morning, dear students. Hope all of you are doing well. So today in this session, we are going to deal with various components of a computer, along with their applications, along with the areas in which they are generally being used. So we will discuss in detail the components along with their applications. So let us come one by one. See, a computer generally consists of different hardware peripherals or components by means of which it can execute different tasks. Apart from the operating system, apart from different kinds of software, until and unless hardware is not there, we cannot install any software into it to make it work. So each and every computer consists of the first most important thing, hardware device, hardware peripheral, that is motherboard. It is the main circuit board of the computer. Now what happens? It is the main circuit board of the computer. It performs all the necessary tasks. It performs all the necessary execution which has to be done in order to accomplish a specific set of tasks. So the main purpose is main circuit board. The main purpose is it holds together various components such as CPU, memory. It means what? It encloses, it combines, or it connects with the various components together, which includes CPU, memory and various other peripherals. Now it contains connectors for the hard drive and the optical drive as well. Now the data that has to be stored can be kept in the hard drives as well as optical drives, isn't it? By optical drives we can read certain materials or content whichever is there in our CD or DVD devices or Blu-ray devices. Now a motherboard also consists of connectors which connects to the hard drive as well as the optical medium. Now here optical drive means CD, DVD, ROM. Expansion cards to control the audio and video. Now apart from these things, motherboard also consists of certain components which are considered as expansion cards or expansion slots, which are basically responsible for controlling the audio and video. Okay. So expansion cards generally control the audio and video. Then connections in the form of various USB port. Apart from this, different connections are also there in order to establish external connectivity with some other devices, with some storage devices, or with say a network connection. There are various USB ports as well as there are various RJ ports as well. And the final one is it provides connection to every component of the computer. So as I said earlier, since it is the main circuit board, so every connection has to be done from the motherboard to each and every components. Whatever the parts or peripherals are there, all those parts have to be connected to the motherboard itself. So these are certain characteristic feature as well as certain applications of motherboard, why it is generally being used in our devices. It is the main circuit board, so until and unless motherboard is not there, we cannot work at all in our device. So here let me show you a picture depicting motherboard. See, this is how a motherboard looks like. When you open the casing of our CPU, central processing unit, you will be able to find a motherboard like this, which consists of different circuitry in the form of integrated chips. Okay, so this is motherboard. Now let us come to the second device or the second component of computer, that is input output devices. The set of input output devices also form a component of the computer, So what are these devices actually? Generally they takes input from the user. That means what? We give instruction by means of these input devices to the computer in order to perform a certain operation or in order to execute a certain task. Then these inputs may be in the form of text, image, sound, video, etc. Now the images these inputs can be anything ranging from text to video. For example, this is the input which I gave to the computer and it is being displayed via output device. The text which I have entered in this presentation is the input which I have provided to the computer by means of input devices, and these are generally in the form of text, image, sound and video. I have not inserted. Sound I am giving via the Bluetooth headset which I am currently using. I am simply providing the sound via that Bluetooth headset only, as well as video via video by means of mobile devices. So they may be in the form of, these are considered as inputs. Now, apart from this, there are certain types of input devices which are there inside the enclosed inside the computer, which are there attached to the computer, which are in order to perform communication, in order to provide instructions, in order to give set of commands. So this includes, first one is keyboard. As you might be aware of the fact that a keyboard, a standard keyboard, consists of maximum 107 keys, while a multimedia keyboard consists of a maximum of 120 to 25 set of keys. Now what this keyboard does, it is a standard input devices that takes data in the form of text. That means whenever there is a need for insertion of data, into our computer in the form of text, then we generally go ahead with this particular device, that is keyboard. Second one is mouse. Now the main task of mouse is, it is a pointing input device. That means what? Wherever, suppose I have inserted a text, suppose I have given a content or a set of programs, instructions are being provided to the computer. Now in order to identify if they are error free, we need to have a pointing device. By means of pointing device, if any error might have crept into our instruction, then by using this pointing device we can place our cursor at that very location, and we can change or we can update the content so that it may not show any error in the later part. So this is about mouse. Then webcam, you might be knowing, web camera, which takes data in the form of video or image. It is nowadays, it comes pre-installed with each and every laptops or computers, but earlier we used to purchase a separate webcam in order to take images or videos as inputs. Now the fourth category is scanner. So scanner generally stores data in the form of graphics. Suppose there is a need for insertion of a picture which is there in hard copy format. In such situation, we can scan that content and store it into our device for the later usage and retrieval and usage. And generally it stores data in the form of graphics in picture format, which may include JPG, MPEG, TIFF, PNG. All those formats are supported by the scanner. So then comes the microphone. Microphone is an input device by means of which we provide audio. We provide voice input or audio input to the computer. Then next one is handwriting input board. Now handwriting input board is a separate external devices which comes nowadays along with the computer. These are external input devices. By means of this we can provide our signature. We can write our signature by means of a digital pen on a handwriting input board, and once we sign it over there, that sign will be automatically inserted into our document, into the location of the document where it is intended for. So it includes a board for writing and a pen that acts as a writing instrument. It means what? Handwriting input board consists of two parts, that is, one is board for writing where we need to sign, and second one is a pen by means of which we will be signing or writing, we will be writing instrument. So there are certain devices which I have discussed is being shown in front of you. So this is mouse, keyboard, scanner. So scanner will be looking like this. Then joystick is a component, is an input device by means of which we can provide input whenever there is a need for changing direction, providing inputs to a game. In such situation we may go ahead with a joystick. Then this is light pen, which is generally being used with the handwriting board, with the handwriting input board. Light pen is generally used with the handwriting input board by means of which we can provide instruction in the form of text to the handwriting input board. Then trackball, barcode scanner, all these things are some of the input devices. Now let us come to the next category, that is output devices. What are output devices? So as it indicates, as the name itself indicates, output means to give the result, correct? Whenever we are getting the result, that is considered as output. So these are those set of devices by means of which, after performing all the tasks on a set of by means of a set of command on a set of values, it can be displayed in the form of computer. It can be displayed in the monitor or in the hard copy format. So these are output devices by means of which the output is being generated. So these are those devices which are used to give output to the user. Means once user has provided the input, what could be the resultant? Those resultant has to be displayed by some means, and that means are considered as output devices. Now here outputs may be in the form of visual, text, audio, printouts, etc. As I said earlier, in case of input also it was there. In case of output also, whenever we are getting any output, we are destined to get an output. It should be in the form, it can be in the form of visuals, audio visuals, it can be in the form of text, it can be in the form of audio, and the hard copy format which we have described is the printouts. Okay. So there are several output devices of a computer. Let us list few of them along with their functionalities. And their pictures. So the first one is monitor or visual display unit. VDU stands for visual display unit. It is a standard output device and is similar to a television screen. You might have seen a television. Each and everyone is possessing a television screen. Similar to that, monitor or visual display unit is a structure which looks similar to a television screen, and whatever the task that has been accomplished can be observed, can be seen in our monitor or visual display unit. Then the second one is speaker. Speaker is an output device by means of which output is being produced in the form of audio or voice. So whenever we need to provide output which should be in the form of audio or voice, in such situation we may go ahead with the speakers. Then printer. Printer is an output device which is used to take the printout of all the tasks that has been accomplished by us. It is a very commonly known output device that gives output in the form of printout. Generally, the output is provided in the form of printout or in hard copy form, which are also considered as hard copy outputs. Okay, so this is printer. All of you might be aware about all these things, so I will simply give an overview and then move forward. So printer means output in the form of hard copy will be provided by printer in the form of printouts. Then comes the plotter. Apart from printer, one more category of device is there, output device is there, by means of which large maps, architectural designs can be constructed. Okay, suppose we have a large sheet of paper on which we need to make a design of our construction project. In such situation, we may go ahead with an output device that is known as plotter, which will be useful in order to take the printout of large maps or architectural designs. Fine. So there is a picture which depicts certain kinds of output devices that are available as of now. Let me show it to you. So these are top 10 output devices. So as I said earlier, this is monitor or visual display unit. It is also known as monitor or visual display unit. This is a printer which gives output in the form of hard copy or printouts. Then speaker which gives output in the form of sound or audio. Then this is headset. Then this is projector. Headset gives output in the form of audio. Similarly, projector produces outputs by means of a flash which will display whatever the task that is being accomplished on a large screen. And then plotter. Plotter is meant for large architectural design. Whenever there is a need for taking the printouts of large architectural designs or producing large maps, in such situation we may go ahead with the plotter. So these are several input and output device that has been discussed till now. Now let us come to the next component, that is the fourth component, central processing unit. It is also known as brain or heart of computer, because most of the tasks are being executed or processed in this particular unit only. Okay, so it is housed inside the motherboard. A CPU is generally housed or kept inside the motherboard, attached inside the motherboard. Now it executes the user instruction and coordinate amongst all units of the computer. That means whatever the task that has to be performed, that has to be specified by the user in the form of input, will be executed by this particular unit only, and it also maintains coordination among all other parts of the computer. Okay, coordination means communication, providing inputs, taking outputs, all those stuffs will be handled by this CPU only. Then also the performance of the machine. What is performance here? Let me go through the definition of the term performance. Performance means within what time duration, within how much time duration a particular task should be accomplished. That comes under the performance. Means how much speedy it can do our task. Okay. Then apart from this, say I have to finish a task within how much efficient it is in order to produce the output of a particular set of inputs. Those things are also considered as the performance of a machine. So there are basically different types of processors which are available in the market. So in this session we will be discussing some basic classification of processors. Now there are mainly two categories of processor that has been classified, or that we will be going to learn. We are going to learn in our today's session, that is on the basis of speed and technology. Means if we classify the processor on the basis of speed and the technical specifications that has been utilized, then it can be categorized as dual core, quad core, octa core. Nowadays few more types of processor came up. Core 2 Duo, Core i3, Core i7, all those things also came in the market. So all these types of processor are classified on the basis of speeds and the technology that has been used. So remember these points. First characteristics of classification of processor is based on the speed with which it performs the operation and the technology that has been used. It is generally categorized as dual core, quad core and octa core. Then the next classification that has been done for processor is on the basis of their manufacturer. Okay, on the basis of manufacturer, the organization which manufactures this processor, on the basis of their manufacturing also they are being classified as Intel and AMD, to name just two. That means what, apart from Intel and AMD, some other organizations are also there which manufactures different kind of processors. So here we will stick or restrict our discussion only to these two organizations, that is Intel and AMD. So these 2 points you should remember, that is classification of processor. First criteria of classification is on the basis of technology as dual core, quad core, octa core, core 2 duo, core i3, core i5, core i7. Fine. And on the basis of manufacturer they are being classified as Intel and AMD, to name at 2, just 2. So this is about CPU. It is also known as the heart or brain of computer, and boxed inside it is housed inside the motherboard, performs user instruction and also maintains coordination among different components. First thing is housed inside the motherboard, then performs all the processing tasks, execute all the instructions and also maintain coordination among other units of the computer, and mainly responsible for the performance of our machine. Remember these two classification, basis of speed and technology on the basis of their manufacturer. Okay, so this is about CPU. So picture depicting a CPU. This is the actual CPU case where it is being housed, it is being boxed. So inside this case you can find our CPU. See, this is CPU. This is actually a CPU, and on top of it a fan will be attached so that whenever it gets heated, it should be cooled down. Okay, so this is our CPU processor. This is actually a CPU box. Inside this our actual processor is there. Fine. So this picture depicts a central processing unit or processor. This is the main component or the part. So with this I would like to conclude today's discussion on different components of a computer. Hope all of you might have understood the concepts. If any doubt still persists, you may contact me at any point of time. Thank you.